Hey, hey, hey. Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. It's not every day you hear the other side of the story, but we're pretty sure the grass isn't greener in the other perspective. Today in rSpace, OP doesn't have our sympathy. Man cheats on his wife, and his daughters hate him for it. Original post. I know I'm going to get a lot of crap for the absurd age gap and the way we started. And I agree, I deserve it. But I would really like some genuine advice past going to counseling. She won't agree, and I can't afford it anyways. Tangible things that I can work on and introduce to help us get this either as a couple or as effective co-parents. Long story short, my ex-wife and I were together since middle school. We have 4 daughters in their teens. I was a stay-at-home dad and part-time worker for most of my life, until my youngest was in middle school. My ex agreed to invest in a passion project business of mine. I hired a receptionist. We started an affair, and she baby-trapped me. Now we're living together and have a young son. She resents me because she feels she was fooled. She saw me as a business owner who had a nice car, nice clothes, took her to nice places, etc. She thought I was rich, so she got pregnant on purpose. Admitted it, not an assumption. Hoping to use me to not work and sponsor her family from overseas. Well, actually my ex-wife and her family are the rich ones. None of our homes were in our names. We were renting from our parents and giving them a nominal fee with the expectation that these homes would be left to my ex and me after their death. This allowed my ex's salary, approximately $150K, not huge in the high Colorado area, to stretch, and we lived in a really good life. I left our marriage with half our savings, about $25K, and my personal property and car. I lost my business due to lack of funding, and I did not seek alimony. I resent her because I feel I was fooled. I thought she loved me and couldn't believe the interest a young, hot woman showed in me. She was incredibly persistent and pursued me strongly, but she has no feelings for me, no care or desire. Now that the ruse is dropped, I can't believe I gave up my entire life for what I see as an ego trip. I loved my ex-wife, really I did, and still do, but I had never been with another woman, and any attempts to open our relationship were shot down. This was like a wet dream come true, and I was weak. Now both me and my girlfriend are in a place we didn't imagine. She's living in a crappy apartment with an old man and still has to work. I've lost my kids, the love of my life, my family, my lifestyle, my business, and it's all 100% my own fault. She stopped being intimate with me as soon as she found out I wasn't rich. We're still together on my end because I feel like I need to have something to show for this crap show of a situation. At least I got a son and a partner out of it. At least it wasn't for nothing. And also because I don't trust her with our son. She would never agree to give me full custody, and she's not a good mother. I would be worried for his safety and the people she would have him around. I honestly don't know why she hasn't left me from her end. What can I do to improve the situation? I know logically it would be best to break up and co-parent, but I'm afraid for my son and I'm embarrassed for myself. Is there a way to salvage the situation? I'm thinking of just telling her we can have an open relationship. She can sleep with whoever she wants and go wherever she wants as long as she lives here, so I can have my son 100% of the time. I work from home. I don't know if that's the answer here, though. Honestly, dude, you effed up. Now you have to suffer the consequences. You have to live with the choices you made. Why the heck would you think opening up a relationship would work? So you know it's best to break up and co-parent, but instead you're going to be weak again and stay, and probably cheat on her as well, and risk getting baby trapped again. Nice job. First update, November 14th, 2021. I had an affair, my ex-wife divorced me, and my kids absolutely refused to speak to me. I was an incredibly involved dad. Most of their lives I worked 1 to 2 days a week and then stayed home with them the rest. I was closer to them than their mom, and I'd like to think I've never disappointed them before this. I made a mistake. It's been over 2 years since it all came out, and I haven't been able to make any headway. My eldest is hung up on the fact that I now have a young son. Every firstborn of each generation in my family has been a boy for a long time, and she broke the streak. I honestly could not care less about that. I've always thought that pressure was stupid, and I'm not a traditionally masculine guy that always wanted a boy. But she's so hurt that I have a son and is convinced that's all I've ever wanted, and he's replaced her and my daughters. None of that is true. All of my girls said that they don't consider themselves to have a brother and want nothing to do with him. All 4 of them feel betrayed and blame me for breaking up our family. I deserve the blame. It's my fault and I take responsibility. But I can't change the past, and I don't know how I can begin making up for it. My ex has full custody of them, but I'm supposed to have visitation 1 weekend a month. They're all in therapy, and it was suggested to not enforce the visitation and respect their boundaries while they work through it. I've done that the entire time and there's no progress made. Does anyone have any suggestions about what I can do here? My ex absolutely hates me, but I was always supportive of the girls staying in contact with me. She's respected their wishes, but still gives me updates once in a while. My eldest is turning 18 soon and graduating this coming year and probably moving away for university. I feel like the time to make up with her especially is slipping away. I know I'm the crappy person here. I was a terrible husband, but I was honestly a really good dad and I miss my girls. Has anyone been through something like this? How did it turn out? What are your suggestions? A user asks OP if his affair partner is his son's mother. The OP says, "She is. I got baby trapped during the affair," something she admitted, which I know makes this much worse. I think I could have maintained a relationship with my girls even after the divorce if I didn't have to stay with my affair partner and didn't have a new baby. The user tells OP that he abandoned his family for a girl half his age, so he couldn't expect them to want anything to do with them. The OP says, "I didn't abandon them. I didn't leave my family for my girlfriend. I wanted to stay with my girls and my ex and work this out. My ex refused because the girls already knew about the affair and it wouldn't be setting a good example, and there was going to be another child involved that she wanted nothing to do with. But to be clear, I would have stayed with my family after the affair if given the choice. The affair was a stupid mistake, born out of curiosity since my ex was the only woman I've ever been with. It was not something I was committed to or wanted to continue long term." Another user asked OP if he and his ex had a conversation about exploring their sexuality and why he sought the affair. The OP replies, "I brought this up before and we did have honest conversations about it. We'd been together since middle school and had been each other's first and only. She loved that. She had no curiosity about other people and thought it was special that we'd only had sex with each other. And she's a very monogamous person in general. Couldn't even handle the thought of me being with someone else. If I wanted to be with someone else, it would have to be as a single man. I didn't seek an affair. My girlfriend pursued me strongly and it just happened. She got pregnant quite early into it. I didn't really plan on anything." Top response for this comment was, "Just happened, huh? You accidentally fell into her vagina?" Another user asks why he won't separate from his affair partner. "I have to stay with her because she's a bad mother and I don't trust her with our son. If we split up, then she would have him at least 50% of the time. I would have left a long time ago if not for that." You should have thought about your family and put them first before putting your own ego first. You were given the choice to stay with your family. You didn't choose them. You chose to have the affair. You've lost the privilege of your children wanting to see you or choose to see you. Second update, January 26, 2022. Good news. My girlfriend and I have broken up. She's gone back to her home country and left my son with me. Refused to sign any formal custody agreement, so I'm hoping she stays there and doesn't bother us again. I'm pretty sure if she comes back and demands time with him, I have a good case for maintaining custody. She's not even interested in FaceTiming with him, so he remembers her. I feel bad that my son will deal with a crappy, absent mother, but I hope I can get him into therapy as he grows. Bad news. I've tried my best to insist on visitation with my daughters, and that has fallen through. They absolutely refuse to see me. They wrote me a letter together that says how much they hate me, how betrayed they feel, how they'll never forgive me, and how my son will never be their brother. To not even bother telling him about them because they'll never be interested in knowing him. Just to forget about them altogether and move on with my new family. I have no legal recourse. The youngest is 13 now, old enough to have a say in custody arrangements, and I don't think forcing them to see me would do me any favors long term anyways. They also included pictures of their mother's wedding. My ex has no obligation to tell me about her personal life, but I'm pretty pissed that there is a man living with my daughters that I didn't know about. It is a family friend that has been in their lives 10 plus years, so not a total stranger, but still hurt to see pictures of their recent wedding and family pictures with my daughters. They mentioned that they have a father figure and don't need me anyways. The whole thing really hurt. I know I have no right to feel hurt that my ex has moved on when I cheated on her, but their whole relationship has moved very fast, so now I'm wondering if they started it before we got divorced. No way to know now. Doesn't matter anyways. My ex agreed to keep me up to date and send pictures of my daughters once in a while. After dealing with my son's mom, I'm grateful she is so good to our girls and I don't have to worry about their well-being. I'm trying to focus on being a good dad to my son and patiently waiting for my girls to grow up and reach out. It may never happen, but I'm hopeful that they will understand me more as they become adults and gain context for their life. Let's check in with some other community comments. First from Little Cream Soda 79. The grass is greener on the other side because it's fertilized with bullcrap. Fia B says, screeching on the front lawn. affair was not something I was committed to or wanted to continue long term. First I was confused, then I realized he's a cake eater. What 5 words are these says, I particularly enjoyed, if I had the choice I would have chosen my ex and family over my affair partner. Dude, you did have a choice, and that's not what you picked. There's no would have about it. I eat noodles with sticks says, makes me wonder if he would feel this crappy if affair partner actually cared for him and wanted to be with him. Jerk roll latex chimes in, if it had worked out, he would have been gloating about his hot upgrade. Dude is a world-class dickhole. Science is my god chimes in. She might have cheated on me. Their relationship really went fast. It's a family friend of 10 plus years. Well, if you've known someone for 10 plus years and they were there for you the entire time that relationship building time had cut in half, also, 2 years is not more than past, so it doesn't seem rushed to me. You should be happy that there's a positive male presence in your daughter's life that chooses to be there for them and supports them, which you chose not to do the moment you had the affair. What do you think? Are OP's daughters being too harsh? Would you want anything to do with OP? Let us know below. Thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. We'd hate for you to miss out. If you want to listen to more stories from me, check out our lounge where I feature a larger variety of non-cheating related stories. See you there.